Okay, got it all chucked up in my 4-jaw chuck. Use the dial indicator, got it within about a half thou, which I think that critical because all we're going to be doing is facing off this end right here. So, and I got me a mark right there where I want to go to. So we'll go ahead and start facing her off. Alright, sorry I didn't get to finish see the rest of that. I've already flipped the shaft around. My memory card's filled up on me. I hate it when that happens. So we got to flip it around. We're going to break this edge right here. And then we're going to get ready to head for the mill. Cut that keyway in there. That Woodruff key slot. Better. That's nice. When I did flip her around, I only loosened, and I have my jaws over here marked 1, 2, 3, 4. I only loosened 1 and 2. Flipped it around, put her in, tightened them back up, and I was only off by about 3 to 6 thou, depending on which way you looked at it. And it was a lot easier to get her back dialed in. We did get her back down to about a half thou. So just tip for those who are getting started out. The 4-jaw, if you go to endo something, just loosen 2 of them. Alright, let's see how this shows up. Alright, got my end taper down. 1 snap ring groove. Got my center line where I'm going to put my key. Another groove. And my other end. Alright, let's get ready to set up on the mill. Alright, I'm over here at the mill. I got some cleaning up to do. I did some AR-15 lower work. I was working on 80%. And I got my backing plate up here where I was using. I gotta get that broke down, get all this vacuumed off of here, and end up putting my mill spindle light back on. There's a couple of guys on hobbymachinist.com that are expressed a little bit of interest in it, so I'm gonna give you a clip of me putting that back up after I get this mess here cleaned up. Okay, got my mill cleaned up a little bit now, and I'm getting ready to put my mill spindle light back on here. And you can see right up here, this is a part of the column that moves up and down. This is a spindle that actually turns, and I've taken a plate of aluminum, machined it where it's just big enough to fit on there, a few thou clearance. And then I took a piece of 6-inch aluminum pipe, cut the height I want. Got another plate for the end of it, and I'll try to turn it this way. And drilled me some holes for lights in here. The two inner rings are angled in towards the spindle, and it's about a 25-degree angle, and that's to help shine light right on the tool itself. And the other ones are shooting straight down, and that kind of floods the area. I didn't have set screws long enough to go all the way through, so what I did was I made a couple of pins. I drilled a hole all the way through, put pins in 3 places. Then I drilled and tapped and put set screws out here. So as you tighten up the set screws, it pushes that pin in. Come on, there we go. Pushes that pin in. See, hopefully you can see that little pin coming up right there. And that's what goes up and actually bites the shaft, or bites onto the column right there. So it's important. I got to keep them down flush, and they do slide out, so I got to be careful with them. And all I got to do is line it up. So I got to keep in mind my screws right here will hit up in there, so I got a certain way I have to line it up. Slide her up there, and the spindle comes right down through the bottom, where the cut a hole right there, just big enough for the spindle to come through. There's my pin's about to slide out on me. Get her back up there. Make sure my screw heads aren't hitting and I'm up all the way. So it's real super easy to put on and take off. Right now I have the camera kind of in my way, so I can't get up here very well, but anyhow, snug that one down. And I just realized I got the wrong size Allen. But it should be enough to snug it. There we go. Let me go get the right size Allen for it. Okay, now I got the right size Allen. I can finish setting up on them. Snug that down a little bit. Snug that down a little bit. Come to the one in the back. And snug that one down. And there she is. She's already mounted. My cord's coming out the side right here. That's not going to be in the way too bad. I just got a little wall mount power supply fed into it. Figured up the voltage I was going to be feeding to it. Used a little online calculator. Calculated out the resistance that I needed. And wired her up. Now let me plug her in. Got the sunlight coming in there, so it's probably not going to show very well. But anyhow, let me get the tool chucked up in there, and then we'll take a look at it. All right, went ahead and chucked up my Woodruff key cutter, and give you a close up. There you go. You can see it without the light turned on. And let me plug this in. And there it is, turned on. Got light all the way around shining down on it, so there's no blind spots. You don't have anything behind you. Usually I had a light over here and it had blind spots. So now I got light all the way around it. Anyhow, I'll get the shaft in here, and we'll get down close to it, and you'll be able to see the light in action. Alright, here's a view from the front of the operator station, I guess you'd call it. You can see how the light illuminates the shaft real well, and you can see all the way around the cutter, and you got light all over there. It's nice, really nice. I've been very pleased with it. I've only had one time where this would actually get in the way, and that was with my AR lower, and I had to actually take it off so I could get down deep enough to what it was I was doing. And actually with this shaft right here, I'm just about center, and I got plenty of clearance over here between the light and the vise, and just about where I want to be. So for the most part, I got adequate room. There's a shot of the LEDs up in there. I think there's 48 LEDs in there. Gives me plenty of light. Alright, now I got my shaft clamped up. 2 sets of V-blocks over there, locked in. Got it over here a little bit. I might actually move it over a little bit more, just to a little bit more rigidity. And then I'll take my, okay, I'll go ahead and show you this while I got you here. Captive audience, yay! Alright, got my set of DROs I put on here. Bought them from Grizzly. Maybe not Grizzly, I forgot who it was. But I got one right here for my Z-axis, and a readout right there. And I got one over there for my X and my Y. And I got, this one's mounted right there for my Y. And I got one right there for the X. And I was kind of skeptical. I've never used a DRO before. I'm new to machining altogether, and I was kind of skeptical. Didn't want to. These are cheap. I think I got 150 bucks wrapped up in all three of them, maybe 200. And I was a little skeptical of them. They mounted up real easy, and the readouts work real well. And they're very accurate. They're very repeatable. I've been nothing but pleased with them the whole way around, and I've gotten to the point where I actually depend on them, and I use them all the time. I don't know what I would do without them. So if anybody is thinking about using these, and these are AccuRemote brand name, if anybody's thinking about using them, you've got my recommendation. I'm actually thinking about getting 1 or 2 of them to put on my lathe, because I don't have a dial for my travel, left or right on the main wheel. So I'd like one there, and then for my end feed, my cross slot, I'd like one there. So I would definitely get more of these put on here. But that's enough for that. Let me get this thing centered up, and we'll get ready to cut a key shaft.